everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel again. This morning I'm sat in my camper van and I've been meaning to do a review or a show of my camper van and what I've done to it and how I use it for quite some time, but never really got round to it. And as today is not too bad a day, it's April and we've got April showers, so they keep piling down every now and then, but it's pretty good at the moment. I thought I'd get in the van, explain to you what my camper van is and how I use it, and also explain how I worked out the economies of, why it is a good idea to buy this van, although some people might think it isn't, but that obviously everybody's got their own view. So the van that I'm sat in is a 2006, so it's very old, Nissan Elgrand. A Nissan Elgrand, imported from Japan. Very lucky where I live, so we've got a dealer who does all the importing and makes a really good job of it, and he's a very good, responsible and reliable dealer as well, in my view. So anyway, so it's a Nissan Elgrand. I think it's a 3.5 litre petrol engine, which is a bit heavy on fuel, but I'll explain my thinking in my calculations on that later in the video. Yeah, so it's a big engine. It's an automatic, which is nice, and it's a luxury 7-seater, I think, minibus. I think it's 7-seater or 7-seater. So it was a 7-seater minibus, and it could still be a 7-seater minibus if I put the seats back in. I've only taken one seat out. But anyway, yeah, so I find it works really well for me. It's a luxury vehicle, so it's comfortable to drive. It's not like a van. It doesn't crash, bang and wallop every time you go over a pothole. It's just like a car to drive, and it's got the suspension of a luxury, a luxury minibus, basically. Yeah, so let me just spin the camera around a second, and I'll show you what I can see here at the moment. So, yeah, so I've got a bed here, which you can just about see. I'll show you better when I get out. And if you look at the front of the vehicle, which is probably a good starting point, that is the dashboard. Everything on the vehicle is in Japanese and in kilometers, so I've had a conversion for the speedo, so that's in miles per hour. Other than that, I haven't bothered with the rest of it. There is a video there, and there's also one up here in the roof, which I don't use. I don't need to use them, to be honest with you, but they're there, and they can be converted to use, British, European standard DVDs and things. But at the moment, it's all based on a Japanese system, which is not compatible with the European system. Yeah, so basically you've got a radio and CD player there, which again, you can't use a CD player, but you can use a radio, and you can get Radio 5 Live, which is the only channel I've found that I can get that I'm interested in listening to. Nothing else pretty much really that's worth bothering with. But I don't use the radio a great deal, and if I wanted to, I could just use my phone and a little speaker, Bluetooth speaker, and that's perfect. So I use this van for going down to Wales from where I live in Worcestershire, fishing, and I go down to Pembrokeshire, to the coast, do photography and things. And so I'm probably doing something in the order of about 10 to 12 trips a year in the summer. Each time doing 200, 300 or 400 miles, whatever. And it suits me perfectly. It's got all of the features that you'd expect. It's got automatic wipers. It's got automatic gearbox. It's got air conditioning. I mean, it's got all the things that you need. Despite being 2006, it's keyless entry. I find that hard to believe, but it is. Just have to have the key in your pocket and press the button and open she comes. Yeah, so it's keyless entry. It's got lots of features in here which there are so many I wouldn't be able to tell you all of them, but it's one of the things that I discovered this morning when I was looking at this video is this adjustment for the seat belt. You can move the seat belt up and down to suit whatever you want. That's a feature which I didn't really know existed, and it's quite good, especially if you've got somebody that's very small or tall in the car with you. I've got this seat pushed forward, the passenger seat is pushed forward, I don't know if you can see that, quite a long way, because I'm using it just for myself. I don't have anybody else with me when I'm camping. I'm a lone camper, and that's what I think this campervan is very, very good as a for lone camping. It is absolutely perfect. It's got electric curtains all round, back and side, sorry. And on the front I put a screen cover on the front when I'm camping, just to blacken the thing out a bit. I've got my own toilet in here, just parked down there, nice and neatly. I'm going to get out now and show you what it's like from the outside and looking from the back. It's got an electric door, the one side, sliding door, and a manually sliding door the other side. Let's have a look. So this is it. There she is. Right next to me bin. Better be careful when I reverse off the drive and what did that bin? A Nissan Elgrand. Yep. So let's lift this up. So what we've got here now is I've taken the opposite seat to this one, was over there. I've taken that out, and by the way, it's all leather seats in this van. It's amazing quality, and when you buy these vehicles, they've done very little mileage. I think mine's done about 45,000 miles, and it's 2008, I think, or 2006. I can't remember. It's about 16, 17 years old. Yeah, so what I've got, let me explain what I've got now. So I've built a table here, which I've got lots of containers that fit underneath perfectly with all my camping stuff in. Got plenty of space, I don't know whether you can see, under there. Loads of space for storage. I've built this frame here for the bed, and I've got an inflatable sim on top of there, and on top of that I've got a Duvet mattress as well, which is only about 2 inches thick, but it makes all the difference in terms of comfort. And obviously the usual sort of bed linen, etc. But yeah, so it works really well for me. In fact, I find it incredible. There's even a little shelf here which I could use to put my cup on when I'm having a drink. Yeah, what else is there? Can I show you? So that's basically all of that. Let me take you around this side. So this is a manual door, so you have to pull this out. Don't use this very often. You can see the way that I've got everything built. By the way, the conversion, the timber that I used to make this bed and the table is nothing. It's 50 quid. I mean, it's cost me absolutely 3 FA really, to be quite honest with you. This is the driver's cockpit. Lots of nice little features here. This is loads of storage. Got hidden storage down there. Got cup holders. It's 4-wheel drive as well, by the way. Yeah, 4-wheel drive. If I want it, you have to press a button to do it. Yeah, so all in all, it's an absolutely incredible vehicle, and one I think which a lot of people overlook. I'll show you the passenger side. Very, very nicely finished, by the way. Lovely wood trim, nice glove compartment here. Hedgehog on the dashboard. You get that free. No, you don't. I have to buy that. Lots of hidden things. Storage case there, which is really useful. Yeah, amazing, really. I've got loads of stuff under here, my fishing tackle stuff, and Hoover, and extra sleeping bag in case it gets very cold. The other thing I've noticed with this vehicle is, well, it's quite warm. It's not like a van. It's quite warm. I think it's insulated anyway as a minibus, and a luxury minibus. It's got to be pretty warm. And when I bought it, it was absolutely immaculate. It was like a brand new vehicle, to be quite honest with you. Let's shut that door and get the cold wind out. Yeah. So when I bought it, it was like a brand new vehicle. You wouldn't have thought it had ever come out of the showroom. Unbelievable the way they treat their vehicles in Japan. But it was, 16 years old. 17 years old now, I think it is. Yeah, and it's done about 45,000 miles. Okay, it's a big petrol engine, and we all know what the implications of that are. But I've got a theory on this. So I'm going to be honest with you now and tell you the facts about this vehicle. I paid £10,000 for this vehicle. 10 grand. Okay? Now, in terms of economy, on a journey, I've probably got about 23 miles per gallon. Now, you're all going to think, wow, that's terrible. God, that costs you a fortune in petrol. Well, yeah, it does a bit, but if you compare the cost of a similar vehicle, say a diesel Volkswagen campervan or petrol campervan, automatic, like this is, I'd be looking at 25, 30 grand, absolute minimum. And I've paid 10 grand for it. So when I go down to Wales or wherever I go, sort of 10, 12 times a year, I'm probably spending an extra £500 a year on petrol compared to someone in a diesel campervan, which is getting 45 to the gallon, except instead of 24 that I get. So it's only £500 a year, so that's 2.5 grand over 5 years. So over a 5-year period of 10 or 12 trips a year, I'm paying an extra 500 quid in petrol compared to someone in a VW campervan, say. Okay, the tax is a little bit more. So even if you say £3,000 over 5 years, or even 5 if you want, who cares? So that means I'm going to invest 15 grand, absolute tops, absolute maximum, 15 grand over 5 years instead of 25, 30 grand. It just makes so much more sense. And the power of this thing as well. I mean, it's a powerful vehicle, and it'll motor. You don't have any trouble getting up hills in this. You don't have to slow down. You go straight up any sort of hill. And with the 4-wheel drive as well, how much you pay for a Volkswagen 4-wheel drive campervan? Automatic? I don't know. They wouldn't be very cheap. So it's got a lot of advantages to it. And I think people overlook these vehicles. So I personally highly recommend them. And I would recommend anybody take a look at them before they buy a camper, especially if it's a lone camper. That's the important thing. There's room in this van for me to carry all the stuff that I need. I've got tables to put my cooking stove on, because it's rear up and over door. That provides quite a lot of cover for when you're camping and cooking. You could fit a rear awning on there if you wanted to. That would be even better. Yeah, all in all, it's mind blowing. It really is. I just think it's so much better. I don't want to spend a fortune on a camper van, 30, 40 grand. I mean, they're 75, 80 grand now, new, with showers and stuff. I don't want a blooming shower. I can manage when I'm camping. Yeah, and you can go on a campsite, if you want to have a shower. Yeah, I just stuck the electric cable through the window and shut it all up at night, and away you go. No trouble at all. But if you're on just camping on the side of the riverbank, as I'd often do, don't need any electric at all. So yeah, so I hope you found this interesting. It's a bit, it was impromptu. I haven't planned this at all, but I've just told you what I know about this van and what I think about it. And I think you need to, if you're thinking about getting a camper van, as many people will be now in April for the summer, if you're a lone camper, this makes so much sense. And I can recommend the company that I bought this camper van from is Worcester Road Motors in Stourport. They have loads and loads of Elgrands on their forecourt now for sale, and they're all around about the 10 grand mark there, give or take to a grand or two. And they're predominantly white, actually, most of them, but you do get some silvers. I went for silver rather than white. But I wanted the four-wheel drive capability as well, so they're not all full four-wheel drive. Yeah, so check them out. It's worth a visit to Worcester Road Motors and have a look. You'll be surprised how nice they are and how luxurious they are, which is better when you're camping. Okay, well, that's the end of the video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Ciao. See you again soon. Bye.